What's going on, everybody? This is dkdynamite. For a video that I didn't expect to be making here on a Saturday night, we're going to be talking about a brand new challenge event, some free rewards, and even an animated camo. Definitely stay tuned. As of right now, folks, double XP is currently live until Monday afternoon in every single game mode. Yes, that also includes double Gobblegum earn rate if you're playing BO7 zombies, so take advantage of that. It is the first double XP event as a part of BO7, and I'd say it's probably the last XP event we're going to get until a little bit deeper into Season 1, but hopefully I'm wrong. As a reminder as well, you can save 12% off any order at Control Freak when you use code DYNAMITE, especially for the brand new Black Ops 7 Performance Thumbsticks. You'll get an in-game weapon charm, and there's even a collector's box. Don't forget, Control Freak usually ends up doing a second set of thumbsticks that are zombies focused later on in a Black Ops game cycle, or a Call of Duty game that has zombies, so I wouldn't be surprised if in the next few months we end up seeing another Coca-Cola can or something. But in the background, we got some gameplay of 20v20 Skirmish, a game mode that I actually got to play back at Treyarch over in the summer, and I will say the mode has significantly been improved since I last played it. I think objective visibility is a lot better, spawns are a lot more consistent, and it's honestly just Treyarch's version of Ground War, and maybe could turn into the fire team of Black Ops 7 if they end up adding other LTMs or objectives like the ones we saw in Cold War in the near future. I know it was said in a recent interview that Treyarch will continue to update this mode if people do play it, and I will say the lobbies seem pretty populated every time I jump in, so hopefully we end up seeing some other bigger spaces in the future for those out there that do like the style of gameplay. This is obviously a game mode though where you're gonna want to run a sniper at least as a secondary, and you're constantly getting grappling hooks every time you interact with the care package to get a score streak or something. It's a ton of fun. Let me know if you guys are enjoying Skirmish down below in this video's comments. I do tend to prefer this one, which is Mission Tide, over the city focus map, which is Mission Edge. Both maps do take place in Avalon, and you're probably familiar with these locales if you've played Endgame. But earlier today, there was a Monster Energy Invitational stream in which the COD League also went ahead and promoted upcoming CDL operator skins. They actually shared this video of what the skins are going to look like, and they will be releasing within Season 1, available for COD points. These aren't going to be CDL skins that you have to buy with actual real money, which you've seen with other CDL focus packs in the past. Don't forget though, you're not going to be seeing ranked play and multiplayer until roughly Season 2. Not sure why it's pushed back like that this year, but gives you more time to go ahead and practice, get your camos unlocked, or do whatever else you'd like while playing Black Ops 7. Now don't forget, this bundle is one that we typically see every single year with the new Call of Duty. You'll get a home and away CDL skin, then they'll end up dropping the team related packs, I want to say a little while after that. Those may cost real money, but I'll keep you in the loop as far as when those bundles are meant to drop. And we also got a nice look here at some of the blueprints and other cosmetics that will be a part of this bundle. Definitely expected to cost upwards of 2,400 COD points. Earlier today, Treyarch also surprised us with a ton of game mode icons that are going to be relevant for Season 1. Some of them look familiar, such as Sticks and Stones, considering the ballistic knife is going to be added as a weapon, either through the Battle Pass or maybe an in-game event, maybe the weekly challenge system. I think one of them is for sure Prop Hunt. We could see Gun Game in there. Not sure what some of these other icons are. Certainly a Christmas LTM that got slipped in there. We know we're going to get a big Christmas update, probably a good 2 weeks after the season begins. But what it does seem like is that a bunch of the party game modes from BO6 are essentially quote-unquote carrying forward inside of Black Ops 7 so that we don't have to wait several seasons for some of these similar modes to get added back in. Just to remind you as well, we'll probably get at least 3 to 4 of these on launch, maybe even a few less. Then of course we'll see some of these other ones spread across the mid-season and even way after Reloaded. Now, before we continue, I want to tell you about what's really been helping me this past week, which is a brain and focus formula, MHA1. It's that time of the year again, probably the busiest for a Call of Duty content creator. With a brand new game comes the absolute need for a good night's sleep and the best attention span possible when producing as much content as we're about to within this launch window. But MHO1 is a premium brain and focus formula designed to support clarity, concentration, and everyday energy. It's a simple 2-capsule-a-day routine that could fit into any lifestyle, whether you're working, gaming, studying, or creating any type of content. Now, unlike the overhyped and jittery energy drinks, MHO1 is subtle and stimulant-free as it fits effortlessly into daily life. Now, during these times of the year, I usually get a little anxious considering how much needs to be produced, and I don't get the best sleep, but MHO1 has certainly been coming in clutch to make sure that this will end up being the best launch window of any Call of Duty that I've covered. Now, MHO1 is certainly replacing that morning coffee that you guys typically see me drink every day on stream, and on top of that, it's getting a lot of good feedback from several other creators out there. Now to pick up MH01, be sure to click on the special link in this video's description or scan the QR code on screen to get 25% off your first order, and for US customers, free shipping for your first month. But with that, expect even sharper content across all of my platforms, and thank you to MH01 for sponsoring tonight's video. Now back to the video, Treyarch also confirmed that the first in-game event for Black Ops 7 actually begins this Tuesday. Funny enough, data miners have suggested that we were going to be seeing a Season 0 event with a Camo reward. I guess that's what this is. As they wrote, this is the Proving Ground event, which is actually exclusive to multiplayer. You can't do this event while playing zombies or any other mode. As they wrote, compete to earn the most score on a 30-player leaderboard with rewards distributed at the end of the event based on your final placement. These rewards include unique weapon camos, a unique M15 weapon blueprint, and I know it's kind of silly because the weapon just got nerfed, as well as calling cards, double XP, and even more. Now definitely expect an update with the detonated article linked below, because according to leaker Reality UK, he's able to force load this event into the game early to showcase exactly what the challenges are and exactly what the in-game UI is going to look like. If he ends up doing that, we'll update the article, but I wasn't going to wait until he does that to make this video. So as Treyarch confirmed, here are all the placement rewards as a part of this leaderboard event. It seems to work pretty similarly to the leaderboard events we got in BO6 Zombies, which I was never too fond of because the only guaranteed rewards you were able to get were simply gobblegums and other consumables, and then for the placement rewards, they were also just gobblegums and consumables, maybe an animated emblem here and there, but they were never all that interesting. However, they're actually following up on some feedback that I know they received over the last couple of months, which is to make sure that even if players don't place very well in these events, they could still get something. So it looks like, as far as the challenge rewards do go, these are guaranteed items you can unlock just by playing the game. There's going to be the Drop 'em M15 weapon blueprint, which there's actually a screenshot of because Reality also leaked an image of this during the launch of BO7 2 weeks back. So that's what it's going to look like. The M15 is still pretty viable, I'm not going to lie. It definitely got nerfed pretty heavily compared to where it was at, but it's still a fun weapon you can rock, and I'm sure this weapon will also end up getting lots and lots of blueprints throughout the year, and it'll probably end up being the new AMS from BO6, where the weapon just gets tons and tons of skins, even after several nerfs throughout the post-launch. Other rewards that you're guaranteed to be able to get include the Mad Peace weapon charm, and then there's 2 different double XP tokens, one for player and one for your weapon level, both of which last an hour. But when it comes to the placement rewards, these will be given out the day that the event actually comes to an end. So even if, let's say, the event starts and you're in first place, you have to make sure you're still in first place by the end of the event, which is presumably like a week or 2 later. So for getting first place, you're going to get an animated calling card. I think it's cool that out of your leaderboard of 29 other people, only 1 person will get their hands on a calling card. Luckily, at least 5 people will get their hands on this specific animated camo. This is called Reverence, which gameplay already exists of because data miners force loaded the camo into their game a good 2 weeks ago. The camo looks nice. You can also see it right now in the in-game gunsmith. You could already take a look and preview upcoming event camos. Yes, there's a tab for it, meaning that they do plan on adding more event camos throughout BO7, and what they promise is that they're going to be adding far more camos than they did back in Black Ops 6. Now the camo is pretty impressive considering it's a Season 0 reward, but like I said, only 5 people in this leaderboard event are going to get this camo. When the event begins, you're going to be put into a random bracket with 29 other players to make it a 30-player total event. Top 10 in this event will end up getting a calling card, and then top 15 will get a loading screen and the Burial Grounds weapon camo. I would have assumed it could have been a zombies-focused camo, but looks pretty cool with the skulls. I mean, it's a free camo after all. I'd rather see it in an event like this instead of, let's say, through the COD online shop where you have to buy an expensive sweater or something. So not too bad. Again, not every camo they add to Black Ops 7 will end up being animated or reactive or super bright and flashy. Some of them will be a little plain every now and again, but a camo is a camo, and it's still better than a lot of the other rewards we saw with the Black Ops 6 events. But the top 30 as a part of this event, so the absolute dead last player in the leaderboard event will simply be getting a calling card. Now, I know what you guys are probably thinking. Will this event even make sense if there's cheaters in your bracket? I'd certainly hope there aren't any. I mean, with the zombie leaderboard events, it was probably easier for somebody to no-life it, AFK glitch, or exploit the game somehow to get all the score or kills or whatever that they needed. But in multiplayer, if it is score-based, it's going to require a little bit more effort here to actually remain on top throughout the event. I've heard some strats of, okay, why don't you just not play until the very end of the event so you can kind of creep in and take a higher placement. I will still recommend keeping up to date with the event every single day as much as you can, and cross your fingers that if you are at a high placement and you go to sleep, you don't wake up the next day when the event's about to end and you just get your place taken from you. Now, on top of tracking your placement in the event every single day, which is absolutely vital to ensure that you can hopefully make it into the top 5, on top of that, you're going to want to make sure that you're probably playing the longest objective matches possible. I'm sure Skirmish won't be a bad idea, but if you can make sure you're playing in pretty lengthy games of hardpoint, domination, you yourself are playing the objective, and you're using perks and equipment, field upgrades that ensure that you're getting more score helping your team, I don't see why you won't be able to place pretty high in your leaderboard, unless, of course, you're going up against absolute demons that don't have real jobs or don't have anything else going on to where they're playing 24/7, whereas you might actually have to go take a shower or go to work, go to school. In that case, you can't be too hard on yourself if you can't just keep up with people out there that are vigorously playing 24/7. Something we talked about on the Bombshell podcast earlier today was maybe they can make this a percentage-based leaderboard event system where they put more players into your bracket, and then if you hit top 30%, 50%, or something like that, then you'd be guaranteed the rewards instead of having it based on every individual player to make up the placements by the very end. Whereas I also think matchmaking has been really frustrating for a lot of people out there, including myself. I mean, yeah, they confirmed that it's the same open matchmaking from the beta, but a lot of us are having different experiences from the beta. I get it, different player base, because these are actually the most dedicated players that bought the game, not just free-to-play folks who jumped into the beta for a couple of days and then dipped out. I totally get that, but my ping's a lot higher, queuing takes a little bit longer. It's not quite the matchmaking I felt in the beta, so hopefully it just gets better over time. Now, I'm seeing a lot of pros, a lot of great content creators out there also saying the same thing, which is that it feels like the matchmaking is still cranked up a lot more than what it was during the open access of the beta. So we gotta cross our fingers that people are just gonna be out of town and away for Thanksgiving during the duration of this event so that we can easily jump in and hopefully hit a high placement and remain at that placement to get the animated camo. But who knows, you might get players in your bracket that only care about Warzone and maybe don't jump into MP that much, or people that simply care about zombies and also don't jump into online PvP. I guess you're going to have to cross your fingers that you get some decent players in your event that are an absolute CDL level demons that end up taking away that top 5 placement without even giving you a chance. Now, as we wrap up, I wanted to remind you about today's sponsor, MH01, that you could save 25% off your order with when you use my special link in this video's description or with the QR code on screen. But that is about it, ladies and gentlemen. This has been dkdynamite. Leave our thoughts down below in the comment section. What are your thoughts on the brand new camo rewards and an upcoming challenge event starting this Tuesday, presumably at around noon? I'll be live streaming my attempt at this event and hopefully getting a decent placement before logging off. Leave our thoughts down below. Really hope you've enjoyed, and peace out, everybody.